What's up, Nintendo gamers? The Kid here with another Sonic Boom update. So through an interview with Sonic Stadium, Sega's Stephen Frost and Kelly Parker shed some light on the features, options, and gameplay details on Sonic Boom. So let's get into that. So Sega's Stephen Frost has revealed that there will be some connectivity between the Wii U and 3DS version, but couldn't go into any details, but confirmed that there will be some type of connectivity, which is good news. He also confirmed that there will be a mix of 2D and 3D gameplay in a quote saying, "As with most Sonic titles where there is generally a mix of 3D and 2D based gameplay, Sonic Boom will be no different. Given the focus on exploration of this new world for Sonic, we generally wanted to focus on 3D. However, given our desire to deliver a familiar but new experience, you can bet that elements like the 2D based gameplay will certainly show up, but maybe with a few twists." He also goes into detail about co-op and multiplayer in another quote saying, "At this time, all we have announced is that the game will support up to 2 players in the main mode, with parts of the overall game supporting up to 4 players. In minimum, there will always be 2 characters together, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Sonic has to be one of them. I also want to confirm that there are no online co-op features currently planned for this game. We felt, given the design of the game, that local multiplayer and co-op would be the more appropriate things to focus on. So there will not be any online co-op with Sonic Boom." So with that, guys, that is the news. So let's get into my thoughts about everything that has been presented in this update. So the first thing I want to talk about is the co-op. And as Steven says, he says that it will mostly be 2 players in the game, and there will always basically be another character with you, partnered up with you. I don't know if that character will be AI or something like that, but he also goes to say that there will be parts of the game where it supports 4 players, which sounds a little strange because first he says it's mainly 2 players, and then he goes into a 4-player co-op, but only says really that there's only parts of the game that have actually 4 players or require or allows 4 players to actually play the game at once. So that leads me to believe that maybe there's some modes, some different modes in the game for you to play, for maybe a party-like mode, like maybe a battle mode or horde mode or something, because this game does have combat on it, in it, and they also say that there will be a combat focus in this game and a little bit of exploration and speed and things of that sort that we know from these Sonic Adventure titles. And by adventure, I don't mean literally Sonic Adventure the game. I mean this is going in that whole adventure gameplay style that Sonic Adventure had. So I wonder what he meant by that. I'm definitely getting that vibe that he means that there's going to be different modes in the game that support more than just 2 players. And a confirmation that there is going to basically be another character with you, which it does sound like there will always be an AI character for the most part with you. I wonder if that means there's going to be a lot of team-up moves or anything, if anything's going to work similar to Sonic Heroes, because a lot of people liked it, the mechanics that was in Sonic Heroes, like, you know, the power, flying, and speed and all that stuff. So maybe there'll be something similar to that here. As he said, you don't necessarily have to have Sonic there. It can be Tails and Knuckles, or Amy and Tails, or Sonic and Knuckles, and just mismatch. But maybe depending on the level gives you a little bit of freedom to choose what character you can have on that certain level, and maybe some that pretty much force you to have a certain group of characters to complete that level, because in that level elements pertain to them in order to actually progress in it. So who knows? But with co-op, I definitely hope they have where it's 2 split screens, but one player can play on the gamepad and the other can use the TV, so there's not a literal split screen TV there, because with the gamepad, that's actually a patent, and I don't see why not use that when you have a co-op game like this. Use that feature. That's an awesome feature, to have a full screen on the gamepad and a full screen on the TV. That's awesome. That'll make the game better, and you don't have to deal with that whole shared experience and people going on off their ways, and then you're pretty much pulled or forced with them. It's just, use that feature, Sega. I mean, well, Big Red Button, use that feature. That's a great feature. Now with the 2D and the 3D elements to the gameplay, yeah, they said a twist, with a few twists. So who knows, maybe there'll be only certain segments where you do only certain things in the 2D sections, opposed to the 3D sections. But this game is definitely more so a 3D game than a 2D game. They're just basically putting the 2D elements in there because it's Sonic. I mean, you can't really have Sonic, like they said, without some 2D elements in it. And with that, if you guys didn't know, we actually had a picture of Eggman, and here he is, which he looks, I actually like this design, to tell you the truth. It's pretty weird seeing Dr. Eggman with a waist, though, because even though he does technically have a waist in his more current design, it's more of just a body, just a full body, just a rounded body. Not, there's really no differentiation of his stomach, his torso or anything like that. So yeah, it looks a little weird. He looks pretty ripped too. He doesn't look fat, actually. He looks like more a dictator than a scientist. There's someone he looks like, the way he's dressed looks like something from some country, but I cannot think of it right now, the name. But he looks like he's very much based on a dictator, basically, than the whole scientist look that he has in his current design. So that's really cool. So with that, guys, what do you guys think about all the news that was presented in this update? Tell me that in the comments below. I mean, I already know there's going to be a lot of complaints about the experience with co-op not being online. A lot of people are going to moan about that, but like they said in the quote, which I didn't actually read because it really didn't make any difference, but they said that once people have the game in their hands, they'll understand why they didn't go with online co-op. And that's fine by me. I mean, when it comes to platformers, which this game is going to be, even though it's an adventure title, these games have a lot of platforming in it. Online co-op just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. Can you imagine online co-op in Super Mario 3D World? It wouldn't work. I mean, lag, if there's any lag on anyone's part, it's going to cause them to screw up, and possibly the other person. And it's just, there needs to be precise platforming and all that stuff, and you just can't do that online. You can't share a screen. It's just not really possible. It's not a good idea. People think it's a good idea, but I'm telling you, it would be horrendous if it happened. But I'm fine with it. I'm fine with local co-op multiplayer. So with that, guys, again, tell me what you think about everything that was presented in this update. What you thought about it. Also, don't forget to like and favorite this video and subscribe to my channel for more Sonic Boom news and other news on upcoming Nintendo games. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next update.